Good Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this final Wednesday of 2015, December 30th, and we've got the in-depth video forecast analysis discussion. Lots of low clouds and stratus around this morning. Temperatures generally running in the low to mid-30s. In the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, temperatures are rising into the upper 30s and lower 40s. Elsewhere, they're in the 30s. We've got quite a bit of reduced visibilities with the stratus and fog in the area. We have a dense fog advisory too. A little bit of drizzle out there to the north and west, and visibilities at about 1/4 of a mile, and in some cases 1.5 miles. So the dense fog advisories are going to be in effect until around 10 o'clock this morning, and we'll show you them in just a moment. We have those dense fog advisories in effect until 10 o'clock this morning for interior portions of New Jersey and out into Pennsylvania near Allentown and south just to the north and west of the Philadelphia and I-95 corridor. This morning we've got small craft advisories on the coastal waters from New York now to Long Island, and it's in effect until about 10 o'clock this morning. The other advisories here for the Jersey coast have just been discontinued. We have that moist onshore northeast flow, subsidence temperature inversion here, and just the lower layers of the atmosphere actually are saturated, and that's why we have the low clouds and stratus with an onshore flow. We have an area of low pressure here across the Mississippi River Valley area here this morning with some moderate pockets of rain that will be scooting up in our direction for later this afternoon into early tonight and early tomorrow morning. On the aviational weather deck this morning, we have MVFR and IFR conditions, a little soupy out there with low-level moisture in place, and generally we're expecting the ceilings to lift a little bit by later morning, but they'll probably lower back again during this afternoon and evening as another batch of rain moves into the region, and that will send the category back to IFR. Light and variable wind this morning begin to favor an east-southeast direction today, 10 knots or less. The wind should become light and variable again this evening before settling into a northwesterly direction late tonight and increasing to 10 knots. Thursday, VFR to MVFR with development of stratocumulus clouds, cold air aloft moving in. Thursday night and right through Monday, VFR, west-northwest winds gusty at 20 to 30 knots during the daytime hours, settling back during the night. Right now, outside of Newark, we are in IFR, 42 degrees, dew point 39, humidity 89%. The wind is due east at about 3. Visibility 7 miles, overcast at 700. And again, the story today will be the visibilities are 4 miles in fog at Philadelphia, temperature 47, dew point 42, humidity 83%, and rain is on the way for later this afternoon and this evening. Latest morning run of the HRR short-range model indicates the light rain spreading up through southern New Jersey and the Delmarva region late this afternoon and along the coast, and lighter pockets of rain moving into the area later this afternoon and early this evening towards rush hour. Latest morning run of the NAM this morning shows the rain pockets moving into the region late this afternoon and this evening. Could be some heavier downpours around the coastal regions, southern Delmarva. New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve day proper across the forecast region. All I wanted for Christmas was a new wireless microphone, and guess what? Santa didn't bring it, so off to the store I go later today. Here's the forecasted charts for this afternoon, right through Friday. As you can see, as we move through the period, here comes the rain, out the rain goes, and then a chillier step down. Northwesterly winds gusty on Thursday, New Year's Eve day, and New Year's Eve night looks dry. Friday, New Year's Day looks dry, and then the weekend, near normal temperatures, and definitely a cool down coming in our direction. Temperature forecast over the next couple of days, still above normal, 47 today in the city, 53 in Philadelphia. As we get into New Year's Eve day, temperatures around 51 in the city, 48 to 50 in Philadelphia metro area. Finally, things begin to cool down. Step down pattern now. The beginning of January 2016 opens up with temperatures in the low to mid 40s across the forecast region. And over the weekend, for the first weekend of January, first weekend of 2016, the new year, temperatures near seasonable, about 42 degrees on Saturday. Temperatures on Sunday afternoon again in the low to the mid 40s, which is just about normal for this time of the year, give or take a degree or two. Temperatures on Monday at normal, 40 degrees across the entire forecast region, and the cool air continues to spread in. On Tuesday, January 5th, temperatures still slightly above normal, but getting there. Temperatures between 40 and 45 degrees. GFS 500 millibar height anomalies here. Here's our cold patch still in the west this morning with our above normal heights in the eastern United States. By the time we get out to 10 days from now, things beginning to switch around. Got more blocking starting to develop over the northern pole regions as the vortex is beginning to split into two. And here's our deep area of low pressure now south of the Aleutian Islands, beginning to change the weather pattern on the west coast with a ridge beginning to move into the west, build up towards the poles here, the Arctic, and active cold anomalies showing up underneath this block, and the warm anomalies beginning to shift with more blocking developing here across the eastern portions of North America. By the time we get out to 15 days from now, it's a cold pool wedged in here, below normal heights here, south of the Aleutian Islands, above normal in the west, and a very active storm track with split flow pattern setting up here across the eastern United States, most of the eastern United States, and this could mean the volatility, high volatility forecast in terms of precipitation type and events coming up. GFS ensemble showing the same thing, below normal heights in the west, above normal in the east right now, but that's all going to shift in the next 10 days. You can see quite a bit of substantial warming, but this undercutting here as the changing pattern in the Pacific continues, and by the time we get out to 15 days from now, look at this. The cold anomalies now showing up across Hudson's Bay all the way down to the east coast. Warming now occurring through the middle portion of the country. Total opposite here from where we've stood. And also the great cooling of the anomaly south of the Aleutian Islands into the eastern Pacific means that everything is starting to change and evolve in its natural form and fashion. Ongoing pulses of stratospheric warming continue over the mid-latitudes towards Asia. This is continuing to warp and stretch the polar vortex at 70 millibars. This is the current from this morning's run. We go out to 10 days from now again. Looks like there's a split happening here with one lobe going towards Asia, the other lobe down towards Greenland here, and it's drawing colder air. Well, actually all of this warming here is actually going to suppress the tropospheric heights, and that means more cold cross-polar flow getting into the eastern United States. And by the time we get out to 10 days, it's the same thing. Another very strong stratospheric warming event towards Asia here, splitting and warping the polar vortex. Still monitoring the teleconnections here off the European model guidance from last night, and this is a 10-day forecast, 2 times daily. This one just came out last night, and it shows we're looking at the Arctic ice oscillation positive. It's going to trend to more blocking to develop in the early first week of January. That has been forecasted. North Atlantic ice oscillation also going from positive to slightly negative. Storms can come out of this during this time frame, so we're going to be monitoring that. The PNA will also at a negative state now, which we showed you, going positive. That's the ridge and heights building along the west coast. That in turn turns the EPO from positive into negative, which is happening right now. The GFS ensemble showed the same kind of thing with the Arctic ice oscillation from positive to strongly negative. This might be overdone by the time we get into January 9th, so it's hinting that there's going to be big changes here. Also, the North Atlantic ice oscillation going from positive to negative. More blocking is present, a positive PNA development on the way, and a negative EPO on the way. So there's definitely lots of changes afoot here, and we're going to have to pinpoint every little disturbance in the split flow branch between the polar, Arctic, and subtropical jet streams over the next 2 weeks. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you bright and early for the final day of 2015 tomorrow.